Welcome, curious listeners, to a tale unlike any other. Imagine renovating a century-old house, uncovering its secrets layer by layer, when suddenly you stumble upon something extraordinary, something hidden for generations. That's exactly what happened to Mason. Tucked away deep inside the chimney was an unassuming bundle wrapped in a tattered cloth. But what lay beneath it was far from ordinary. What could be so remarkable that even an expert, upon seeing it, whispered in disbelief, "This can't be true"? Stay with us as we unravel the mystery and dive into a discovery that might just rewrite history. Mason, while renovating his century-old family home, stumbled upon an old tattered cloth hidden deep within the chimney. Its intricate patterns and unusual texture piqued his curiosity, compelling him to seek an expert's opinion on this unexpected find. When the expert examined what was wrapped inside the cloth, his stunned expression and hushed words, "This can't be true," sent shivers down Mason's spine. But before we dive into the story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any new stories. Mason had bought the home after a lengthy search and many open houses. He wanted a house with character, and this one definitely had it. However, the charm of the home came with complications. It needed a lot of work. After planning the renovation and preparing everything, it was time to tear the house apart. It was a big job, but Mason was fortunate to have the help of his friends and family. Together, they ripped out old carpets, cleaned up leftover trash, and even removed some walls. As Mason was busy demolishing the fireplace mantel, he couldn't help but look inside the chimney. The house was so full of things that he figured the previous owner might have stuffed something in there too. As he crouched down to look inside, he saw a strange object covered in black char. At first, he didn't think much of it, but when he took it out, he realized it was a piece of cloth wrapped around something. Mason cleaned off the char as best as he could and immediately knew he had found something extraordinary. The cloth wasn't like any material he had seen before and looked very old. It also had a beautiful pattern, which piqued his curiosity even more. Determined to learn more about his find, Mason quickly searched online for an antique expert nearby. To his surprise, there was one just a 30-minute drive away. Wasting no time, Mason left his friends and family to continue the cleanup and demolition while he drove to the expert's shop. When he arrived, Mason noticed how quiet the shop was. There were no customers at all, and he would soon find out why. As he opened the door, a little bell jingled, and he was immediately hit with a musty smell, not unusual for an antique store. However, what was strange was that no one came to help him. "Hello?" Mason called out, but there was no response. He wandered around the store, looking at the antiques and their price tags. "Oh, hello," a man wearing a strange hat finally said as he noticed Mason. The man introduced himself as Hans Theron, an antique expert known for his peculiar taste in hats and his even more peculiar expertise. Hans glanced around, adjusting to the shop's dim ambiance before focusing on the cloth Mason had brought. Using a magnifying glass, Hans examined its intricate details while Mason watched intently, his curiosity bubbling over. "What era is this from? What's its purpose?" Mason asked, his questions reflecting the suspense between them. Gently, Hans began to unwrap the cloth. Each movement was deliberate, revealing glimpses of the hidden contents. Suddenly, a peculiar sound pierced the silence, freezing both Hans and Mason in their tracks. Overcome with emotion, Hans whispered, "This can't be true," his voice barely audible. The words hung in the air, marking a pivotal moment of disbelief and wonder. Driven by insatiable curiosity, Mason urged Hans to continue. "Keep going," he said, his eyes alight with the thrill of the unknown. Hans led Mason into a modern laboratory, its sleek surfaces and advanced equipment starkly contrasting the dusty antique shop. This was no ordinary artifact. It demanded scientific scrutiny. Surrounded by technology designed to unravel the mysteries of the past, the artifact seemed even more out of place. a tangible link to history amidst modernity. The final removal of the cloth was approached with bated breath. As Hans's hands hovered over the artifact, the anticipation reached its peak. Mason and Hans stood on the cusp of history, their hearts racing with the promise of a groundbreaking discovery. Outfitted in protective gear, Mason stood ready, embodying the preparation for an important revelation. When the artifact was finally unveiled, Mason's awe deepened. Though still partially obscured, it hinted at a bygone era, offering a tangible connection to the past. "Do you understand what this means?" Mason asked, his voice laden with awe. This question wasn't just about the artifact's historical significance, but its impact on their understanding of history. The partially unveiled artifact promised to rewrite chapters of the past, its value immeasurable both academically and monetarily. Hans carefully lifted the cloth, revealing a coin collection beneath. "These aren't just any coins," he began, his voice filled with reverence. "They're from an era that changed the course of history." He explained the origins and historical significance of the collection, each coin a testament to the rich tapestry of human civilization. "Each of these coins tells a story," Hans noted, pointing out distinct features that signified their unparalleled value. Among the collection, a particularly rare coin caught Mason's eye, a piece directly connected to a pivotal moment in history. "This coin," Hans explained, "is a direct link to an event that shaped our world." Holding it, Mason felt the weight of history in his hands, a tangible connection to the past that was both exhilarating and humbling. Hans's expertise shed light on the collection's worth, revealing a value far exceeding Mason's expectations in both historical and monetary terms. "This collection is a treasure beyond compare," Hans stated, emphasizing its significance. Mason listened, astonished by the figures Hans mentioned, realizing the magnitude of their discovery and its potential impact on his future. The revelation of a coin that completed a renowned collection added a thrilling dimension to their find. "This piece," Hans said, holding up the coin, "has been missing from the known sets. It's the key that completes the puzzle." Mason understood that this coin not only added to the treasure's value, but also to its historical importance, marking their discovery as one for the ages. As Hans detailed the rarity and historical value of the coins, Mason felt the full weight of their discovery. The expert's words painted a picture of unparalleled significance, each coin a piece of history now entrusted to their care. Mason was struck by the realization that the coin's value could far exceed the cost of his house, a revelation that reshaped his understanding of the find's impact on his life. The laboratory buzzed with excitement as the significance of the discovery became palpable. The charged environment, filled with the promise of historical revelations and newfound wealth, turned the space into a crucible of potential. Mason and Hans, surrounded by ancient coins and modern technology, found themselves at the heart of a momentous occasion. The museum, known for its dedication to preserving historical artifacts, was the perfect home for their find. Its commitment to employing state-of-the-art conservation techniques and dedicating resources to research ensured the coin's historical significance would be honored and preserved for generations. This dedication affirmed Mason and Hans's decision, giving them confidence in the collection's lasting legacy. With the sale complete, attention turned to the upcoming exhibit. The exhibit promised not only to display the coins, but to share their story with a wider audience, enhancing public understanding of history. The museum's curators worked closely with Mason and Hans to design an exhibit that would capture visitors' imagination and curiosity, promising a unique educational experience. As the exhibit opening approached, Mason and Hans prepared to share their incredible story. Their presentation would bridge their personal adventure with the historical significance of the discovery, inspiring others with their tale of curiosity, luck, and the joy of uncovering a piece of the past. The exhibit's opening was a celebration of the coin collection's journey from an unexpected discovery to a historical treasure. Attendees were captivated by the story of Mason and Hans's find and the museum's efforts to preserve and share it. The event marked the culmination of a remarkable tale, highlighting the impact of their discovery on historical preservation and public knowledge.